Anna here. Are you ready for your core blast? All that you need is yourself and a mat. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start at the back of our mat. So we've got all of the mat ahead of us. Bring our chin into our chest, belly button into our spine, rolling down for me. And go ahead and just shake a bit from side to side. Just relax that head, neck, shoulders and lower back. And roll all the way up, rolling those shoulders back up at the top. And again, chin into the chest, belly button into the spine, rolling down. And this time, walk out onto all fours for me. Hands are underneath of the shoulders. Knees are underneath of our hips. And that gaze is just straight down, so not dropping down or looking straight up. We're going to take a nice deep breath in and exhale. We're going to angry cat that back. So tuck the tailbone, lower back, mid back, upper back. I want you to round and scoop, almost like we were doing a crunch or a curl on our back. And untucking for me. And again, this time we're tucking just our tail under for me. Scooping, we're keeping our gaze neutral and the up half of that torso straight. And untucking. And again, we go ahead, we tuck the tail. Exhale, almost like a reverse curl, and controlling it back out. And again, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, really using that exhale to get that last little bit. And the last one for me, we go ahead, exhale as we tuck and scoop, bringing that belly button more to that navel, to that spine, and untuck. Now, we're going to do similarly to the side for those obliques. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, look towards our left hip. Our left hip looks towards us. Almost feel like that crunch, that curl, and come back through center. Same again. We have 10, and again, back through center. And 9, good. And 8, keeping length in that spine. And 7, that belly button is to the spine the whole time. And 6, good. And 5. Now these are quite deceiving actually, aren't they guys? Because they're actually quite hard. You're going to feel the oblique. And 3. And 2. And last one, holding, squeezing, really feeling that oblique. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second side. And we're going to bring our gaze to that right hip towards us, back through center. And again, speeding it up slightly. Really add that extra little squeeze in there for me. Good. And we have another 8. Good. And 7. Again, that belly button is lightly into the spine the whole time. 6. Keeping our shoulders away from our ears. And 5. Really feeling that oblique. 4. Almost there. And 3. And 2 more. And last one, hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back through center. Tuck the toes under. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, hover those feet up off the floor. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down to the knees. Now guys, you have an option. You can do a second set of those bear hovers, or we can progress it. From here, hands are underneath shoulders. Tuck the toes, hover the knees for me. We're extending our left leg and bring it back down. Extending our right. Now notice how my back doesn't change shape at all. Good. So we're not hiking those hips up. We're keeping everything else still. Good. Screw those arms in for me. And 3. And 2. Imagine we have a tray of Starbucks on our back. And 1. And lower back down. Gorgeous. Come on down to our elbows for me. Either come into our half plank, which is nice and straight from our tailbone to the crown of our head, and our knees are on the floor. Or go ahead, still keeping straight from our tailbone to the crown of our head, but coming onto those toes. We're going to soar forward. and back. Drop our hip to the right, drop our hip to the left. We go ahead, we saw forward and back and hip drop and hip drop. We go ahead, forward and back and hip drop and hip drop. And again, now guys, your hip drop might not be as much, and that's fine guys. Go to your personal limit there. Always good technique. Good. We're going to do one more here. We come forward, back, and side to side. And then lower your tummy down onto the floor. Bring our hands so they're underneath of the shoulders. And I'm just going to come up just a tiny bit more onto my mat. So my hands are underneath of my shoulders for me. So I can just see my fingertips in the peripheral vision. Relaxing my shoulders back and down. My legs are going to go ahead and open up just about hip width apart. And they're going to be in a parallel position, which means our kneecaps and our feet are down towards the floor. Nice long neck forming. And from here, we're going to take a nice inhale as we hover the hands and come up like a little banana, lifting the upper body and the lower body in equal measure. And lower back down on an exhale. We go ahead. Now remember guys, this isn't a neck exercise. The neck is an extension of our spine. Good. And again, we go ahead as we lift. Now remember guys, core focus, the back is very much part of the core as well. Strong backs are where it's at guys. And again, we go ahead, we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower everything down. Gorgeous. Let's go ahead and meet onto your back for me. As always, take a second just to realign yourself, make sure we're in a good posture. And we're going to bring our fingertips to our temples. Now guys, I want you to think about just tilting your chin ever so slightly. We're not jamming our chin to our chest. We have about a half apple span between our chin and our chest. Our feet are firmly onto the floor, about hip distance apart. We take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, belly button into the spine, and we close the gap between our rib and our hip. And we lower back down. Again, inhale to prepare, exhale, curl up and over. Now really, we're going back to basics with the technique of this, guys, because a lot of people will suffer from neck pain whilst they're doing abdomen work, and we really need to sort of go back to basics as to see why that is. And normally it's because our cervical spine, that neck, isn't quite sitting right on top of our shoulders. And we're going to do one more for me. Curling up and over, belly button sinks deeper down into the spine, and then lower down. Now, go ahead, place our hands one on top of the other, just on the nape of our neck. Now remember guys, our head is heavy into our hands, not the other way around. We're going to do a curl around the world. So we're going to curl up a little bit to the right. We're coming up and around and back down. Now we're going to do the other way. We're going to curl slightly more to the left, curl up and over, and come down through center. Now guys, notice how I'm not yanking my neck. It's all coming from my midsection. Again, we have 3 more, and around and back down, and 2 more, and lower down, and last one for me, and lowering down. Good, nice. From here, extending our legs nice and long, reaching our arms overhead, and let's make sure our ribs stay tucked down. Let's make sure that our biceps are about in line with our ears. We're going to inhale as our arms come up, exhale, belly button into the spine. It's like we're reaching forward, but we have a seatbelt on, and then rolling back down for 8, 7, 6, tuck and squeeze those glutes, and all the way down, and again, inhale as we come up, use that breath, and roll down. Really squeeze those glutes, guys, to control us coming down. Now, guys, remember, our alternative can always be legs bent, or again, we can always go ahead and help that leg help us up. Good. We're going to do 3 more here for me. Nice and slow and controlled, really hitting each of those marks. And it kind of gets to that point where you're like, am I going to make it? But you got to dig deep and rolling back down. And on this last one, we're going to stay up for me. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and scoot our bum forward, and we're going to come into rolling like a ball. So let's hold on to those ankles. Again, guys, you can always have as an option hold on to the back of those hamstrings. And from here, let's slightly have a little pizza slice between our toes. Heels are together, toes are apart. Let's hover the feet up off the floor, look down towards our navel as our tail is tucked up towards us. So we're completely round from our tailbone to the crown of our head. We go ahead, we inhale to roll back. And we exhale as we come up and pause. Notice how I didn't swing my legs and I'm still looking to my belly button. And again. Good, nice. Hovering those feet. We're going to do 3 more. Beautiful. And 2 more. Hold and pause. And last one. And then we're going to either stay where we are with those rolling like the ball, or as we come up, we're extending one leg, we're extending the other leg, and we're bending them both. So either stay with our rolling like a ball, or come on to that variation. So stay rounded. Rolling back, coming up, extend one, extend the other, bend both. Again, look to the navel. Coming on up. Extend both maybe at the same time if we're getting fruity. And again. Now guys, what we're trying to do is preparing ourselves for a little combination. So as always, you can stay with that rolling like a ball, or we're going to alternate between rolling like a ball and an open leg rocker. Now guys, remember our open leg rocker, an alternative leg position is always going to be in this position, okay? So opened up, shoulder distance apart, hands are going to be on the back of those thighs, legs are in that tabletop position. Let's just do one of these variations once more. And then let's go ahead, and if we're doing our open leg rocker, rock and roll back. Whoop, coming all the way up. See, if you stumble, that's fine. Bend the legs, and again. Roll like a ball. Extend the legs or bend them for our open leg rocker. And back to our rolling like the ball. Perfect. And last one, guys, wherever we are. Perfect. Hug the legs together for me. Let's scoot back. Let's reach our legs nice and long. Let's reach over those legs. And let's roll back down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's reach those arms nice and long for me. Let's go ahead. Don't worry if the ribs flare or the back comes off. Grab hold of your right wrist and gently just pull over to the side. So we're stretching out that side and come back through center and hold on to that left wrist. And again, we pull over to the side and come back through center. Lift those arms up so our biceps are in line with our ears and our ribs are melted down. We're going to transition up for the last time. Inhale as our arms come up. Exhale as we dive all the way over. Sitting all the way up. Roll our shoulders back for 3 and 2 and 1. And those words you've been waiting for, guys. You, my loves, are all done with our core blast.